Hello and welcome to Taku Katsu. This is the podcast about anime reviews of first episodes. We talk about anime new or old. It can be from this season, last season, or 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. I'm going to introduce my co-host, Vicky.
If I could go to the moon, I would. That's it. Send me to the moon.
And our foreign language correspondent and primary editor, Patrick.
I will only go to the moon if I have my vampire with me. Preferably female.
I mean, you know.
It don't have to be.
You gotta choose. You're gonna go female vampire. And I am the main host today, Cori. We are here to talk about a wonderful little something. In Japanese, Suki to Raika to Nosferatu. Or The Moon, Laika, and the Blood-Sucking Princess, or, as it's known on Funimation, Irina, the Vampire Cosmonaut, which I think is a better title than the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the translation there does not go one-to-one.
No.
I got moon and vampire, and that was it.
Like, there's a very strong, reference to Laika, the dog, that, that the Russians put in space, but it's completely lost in translation, and that's okay. But there's a reason why it's called that. This is a show about a vampire and a dude in not Russia who are in a space program to go to space. Well, specifically the moon, but that's not really it's not going to happen yet, at least. So our format is this: we talk about what we like, what we don't like, and if we would watch more. And then we go on to the B-side where we talk about a random topic, usually related to anime or Japanese culture, or we just go on random tangents for a while and we don't talk about a show we don't talk about, or the other show we don't talk about. Neither of those shows we talk about. And it's been a full year of not talking about any of those shows. So, welcome back to 2020. We are still dealing with everything that 2021 brought with us. Vicky's not been well. I've not been well. Patrick has been great.
I've been great.
He's killing it.
I'm killing the game, guys.
So, as always, Patrick is looking for his Japanese wife.
Stop.
If you have any desire, come find him. He lives in Minnesota. He's great.
He's coming to a convention.
On the other hand, yes, he is literally coming to a convention.
That
very
is
soon.
True.
We still have more mouse cheese cucumber game to play. It came out. Patrick,
thank you.
How did that go? As far, it's been about 6 months since it got officially released, I think.
Yeah, it's been a couple months. We've been getting great feedback. Good support. Our publisher, Sepiyun, who has been in the convention scene, has gone around and played with the public and our fans. It's been great. Looking forward to see what other possible ideas that we got cooking in the book. So look forward to that. And thank you everyone for supporting us through that and supporting us through Taku Katsu. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely. So we are going to start with talking about what we like and don't like. What I will say is I got a lot of stuff to say about this. We were supposed to record this on the 16th of December. It is not that anymore. So I did end up watching more episodes. Mostly because I was like, why not? I'm
very on brand of you,
Cori. Yeah, apparently it is. That's what Zane said. But I really did wait. I waited 2 or 3 weeks and I was like, I'm just going to watch more episodes because there's other stuff I want to watch. And the new winter season's coming.
Yes.
And also, it's been a year. Jujutsu Kaisen has not come back yet. Shield Hero has not come back yet. But
the show we don't talk about.
Demon Slayer is back.
Either.
Ooh, one of them has come back with episode 2. But...
We don't talk about that either. Okay, there are 2 things we don't talk about. We don't talk about them.
The third thing.
We did a really good job of not talking about those for the last 3 or 4 weeks. So let's continue with that.
All right.
But I did watch to conclusion the assassin anime. So let's start with you, Patrick. What did you like about Irina, Space Cosmonaut?
So I think this is probably our first show that's kind of like a documentary anime, or kind of set up to be like a pseudo documentary with using history. I believe the setting is in 1945. So and it's very on key with like the race to go to the moon, right? And so you have that old school narrator again. That's kind of like speaking through the documentary when they, introducing us to the setting and all that stuff. We get a bunch of interesting characters. I like the fact that it is in this documentary or setting. I don't know how much that will be played into it, or if that just happens in the first episode and then it kind of like eases off of that. But yeah, I mean, we want to send vampires to space. I mean, it's kind of wild, but
I wouldn't say it's a documentary. I would say that their world building was very narratively based in the first 10, 15, 5 minutes of the anime. Because they had to be like, look, this is not Russia. Look, this is not America. But also, it's literally the same thing as America versus Russia space race.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's probably like the 1950s. But yeah,
right.
Yeah,
And so I expect if you're a buff on that type of material, like I'm sure they're gonna reference more and more things like that, like the Dog to the Moon and like just other types of like things like that. And so I have that to look forward to, just kind of see those references to real worlds and seeing like how they play with that, like what if scenarios, like this is how it happened, all these things like that. So for me, that's a fun time just to see like the play off the what if scenarios that Russia or not Russia was doing to accomplish this, I guess.
Has anyone here seen either Space Brothers or Planet Tess? No. Okay. I'll
Deep
come
cuts.
back to that.
Deep cuts.
Yep. I guess, man. Don't make me bring up Zipang. Holy crap. Anyway.
But yeah, other than I don't have too much to say about that, but let's move it to you, Vicky. What do you like about the show?
I did like how they handled lore in that it was like a different species that lives deep in, not Russia. And people know of them, but because so few people like actually interact with them, that's where all of like the movies and media come. That it's known that it's kind of like writing a movie about like deep sea creatures. You don't interact with them enough, but just enough to be like, oh, what if it's like that? It's kind of. It was nice how you could see reacting to her being a vampire. Media wasn't necessarily true stuff. I also like rewriting of history to be a narrative of like this happened, and now we're going to space. Well, that's basically what happened, but it's like different fictitious countries. But I want to know how close to the truth it is to what actually did happen in reality.
So I have it on good authority that the Soviet Union did find some Roma vampires and send them. No, I'm kidding.
That's had happened that way. I mean, how else did they do
Transylvania is near Ukraine.
just. No. I realized that could have sounded way worse if I continued, so I aborted that idea. Yeah, no. But what else did you like?
I like and it's weird, but I like how Irina's got like a personality. That's not just like she doesn't seem like a simp for humans, but it's also kind of like why does she want to go to the moon? What's up with that?
That's true. That intro is like why they're both like on this journey together, but what was their main motivation in the first place?
What'd you like, Cori?
I like space. So,
yes, that's why you picked. That's right. I forgot Cori likes space.
It was just like, hey, space. Want to go to space? So I do like space. I feel like the show is kind of like how I felt about Blue Exorcist. Like I kind of was into it from the get-go, and then I just burned it. Like slowly got over it. Because I remember the first season of Blue Exorcist, or 12 episodes. I watched it. I was like, good. I could watch more. Then the next season came out. I'm like, oh, I don't care anymore. I just kind of got over it. It had an interesting initial idea that kind of got me, and then it lost me. So I wonder if that's how I'm going to feel about this show. I do like her personality. She seems like she knows what she's up. She knows she's going to do. She's like, I'm on it. I got it. I don't trust humans. Get away from me. I got this. Mm-hmm. It starts to get tsundere level, but I'm not sold on it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's not there yet. But if she can avoid tsundere, then I'm cool. And if she gets the tsundere, I'm probably going to like it anyway. But also, tsunderes aren't real. I am very curious about stuff like the stuff that they'll probably explain a little bit, but never enough for me to be happy. What's the connection between vampires and the moon? Is there any connection at all? This doesn't seem like it's a case of the Vanitas or anything. To call back to last time, the vampire show that no one else watched more than one episode of. And
it's on my.
Second episode was good.
Dang.
Oh, so good.
I want to watch it.
Let's just say there are more weapons.
I bet. But yeah, I was really curious. Okay, so the vampires are not human, quote unquote. They're just rare Siberian monsters. Mm-hmm. They're just people who look like humans, and they can drink blood. And you get a little bit more into it where it's no, the vampires don't do 90% of the stuff that they're afraid of.
Right.
So the lore of vampires is the same lore of vampires we have, except they're not sparkly vampires. They're the old-fashioned vampires, They're weak to the sun, but they don't die in the sun. They
don't care about crosses. Crosses don't.
Yeah, they don't care about crosses and holy water and all of that stuff. But, you put them in the heat, they're like, this sucks. You put them in the sun, they're like, oh, this is not comfortable. I'd rather do things at night.
But that's like normal people.
Yeah, there you go. This whole subsection of humans. But what's really cool is that the not Soviet Union sent up a dog. The dog died, but they're like, it worked. Then they're like, okay, we want to send up a human, but we don't want them to die. We want to send them up on live camera so we can show how awesome we are. Because the Soviet Union did beat the United States into space 3 times, right? They had a satellite in space. They had a person orbit, whatever. So getting a human into space was a big deal. It was a big boost to the Soviet economy, or to the political profile of the Soviet Union, all that. So the story here is okay, we want to do this. We want to get a person into space, but we don't want to kill anyone, right? We don't want to kill Yuri Gagarin. So we got to put someone else up there who's close enough. We don't have any monkeys, so let's get some vampires. So they basically almost kidnap a vampire and then train the vampire with a disgraced trainee candidate, whatever, a cosmonaut candidate. Because he's the good guy. He's the best guy. He's morally unblemished character. And his role is to teach her. And then obviously they're going to have a relationship of some kind. And he treats her like a person and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's because it makes sense in a really cynical way. If we're not going to send up a monkey, and we're not going to send up another dog, but we want to make sure a human could do it, send up a disposable person who's not a person, they're an object. So it's cool. But yeah, so Patrick.
Yes.
What didn't you like?
Okay, what I don't like. I didn't have much to say about what I like about the show, but I'll say right now, this show is not for me. I do like, again, the kind of the pseudo, or like Vicky said, the rewriting of history and trying to make supernatural reasons for how these things were happening, right? How we really did send someone to space and all stuff. She was a vampire. That's how we did it. And a lot of other things, right? But I feel like this show is gonna be how I raised my vampire. In a sense, it has that feeling of, again, you brought up the tsundere idea. I was like, yeah, this guy is the happy-go-lucky guy. He's well positive, and he's in it for true moral because he wants to actually go to space, and he's training as hard. Right. And the girl's like, I'm ready for this, and she's just cold and quiet. You got your two main personalities, and there's some shots in the first episode where she's eating. I'm just like, yep. These are the. Here's the thing. Okay, no. Okay, no. I'm sorry.
Wait,
here's the thing.
Let me say this.
Okay.
They do it again. Like full on, like the food in her mouth and the lips.
Exactly.
They burn
exactly. I knew it.
Animation budget on that.
I knew it. Okay.
I forgot
exactly.
about
that. But here's one thing I wanted to say. I rather would have that than upskirts. So I thank the show for its fan service. Its fan service is there, but it's a different type of fan service, which is great. I think.
It's
and that's what I like about the show.
It's vampire lips and teeth.
Right. But with that being said,
so on the ecchi scale,
it's a new ecchi marker.
It's more uncomfortable than a simple.
That can't be high.
Shot.
But where is it on the ecchi scale, though?
Oh, man,
I feel like it should be like a 7.
It's okay.
Like a 6
or
7.
No,
it's
Vicky.
just so uncomfortable.
It's a 6 or 5. It's not a 7.
It's so much more.
It's intimate.
It is more intimate.
It is extremely intimate. It is extremely intimate. Yes, but I don't know if it's higher than a 5.
No, it's like a 5 or 6.
I think I would probably give it a 3, just because it is intimate. Yes, but it's kind of like when two people like kiss in public, and you're just like, I don't want to look at you, but I'm looking at you anyway. Like,
that's
it's not
voyeurism. That's voyeuristic intentions.
No, we got.
This
first
is
of
the
all,
weirdest divide on the ecchi scale of all time, Vicky. I really am not catching you.
I think the perspective.
Like, normally, I'm the one who everyone's like, you're too high on the scale.
You're
like, it's a 7. Because I can see her lips and bite.
An upskirt shot is a 4 or 5. Like panty shot. But
the base,
like the weight and then the focus on it, and then even from inside the mouth with the food, and then the lips, 6, minimum.
Okay. Exactly. See, here's the thing, Cori. The focus and zoom in of the shot, it's clearly there for that purpose. If it was zoomed out and showing her face more, they're like, okay, but then it's a full close zoom fish scope lens of a shot where it's like, this is what it's here for.
I'm not saying, but when we compare, especially because it's so limited, but when we compare it to other things, like, I'm going to have to ask this question because it's the best way I can think of it. Is there a situation, any person, any character in your fantasies where that is erotic, other than just?
I think you know the answer. I don't know why you're asking this question. I think the answer is clear.
because
for a person,
I don't generally think that upskirts are all that like titillating in general. I think it's a little strange. I think the whole like underwear, panties smelling and things really unusual. But we'll call that a cultural thing. Like some people just whatever. Fine. So, is there a situation where my relationship with a specific individual who I have a good relationship with, where I might imagine that I could be like, yeah, their panties are attractive to me? Yes. Right? Maybe not sniffing them and all that, but in broad association with that specific person, yes. So could I do the same with that same person eating some fruit or something? Yeah,
let me see. I don't want to be the guy to say it, but I'll be the guy to say it. Bananas.
It's just a sublimation. Like the focus is just it's the
camera work It's the sound design. It's the zoom in. It's just showing the lips and the inside of the mouth. It's kind of like little like voyeurism in a sense. Like you don't need to see that in deep the X-ray view of it. You just
to see someone's mouth from the inside out. Like what?
Like
it's
voyeur stuff.
And it's voyeurism.
No,
it's voyeurism.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring this up, but I'm sorry. But like Cori said, you just said it happens in the future episodes. Like food and this quote unquote food porn, let's say, which is the God of Cookery, whatever show. But it happens in other episodes in this show, right, Cori?
It happened at least. I believe it's been it really has been a while, but I believe it happened in one more episode.
Okay.
Let me say this. Okay. So, some examples of sixes. Kate, that we've agreed on. Keijo. Fire Force. Some of these I don't think either of you have seen. So, I'm just going to go with those two.
Those are good bars.
This is right up there
already
with
a good bar.
While a 6... You think so?
Oh man!
Just speaking of that shot,
a 5,
like
Vicky.
pizza puts its place, but that imagery is right up there with boobs battling on bouncy water stuff.
Okay. So you would say that scene is worse than anything in Code Geass, Ranma, or what is that? I know this anime, I just can't remember what it's called. But we'll just go with those two.
I haven't really seen those, but I'm going to go with yep.
Okay, the first episode of Ranma. Worse than the first episode of Ranma?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's worse than...
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I understand where Vicky's coming from. It's
I'm
the purpose.
I'm fighting for a 5 at this point.
It's a 5.
You both think it's at least a 5 or a 6. All right.
I could go back. Yeah.
All right.
But I
think a 5 is asking a lot, but all right.
It's just way too focused and intimate a thing to be like. It's just it instantly just was just like nope. And the shot of her lips after it was just like, why is it so detailed? It's just disturbing.
And then like the close in the eyes, it just zooms to the eyes. Like again, it's some good. Here's the thing: it's not just the context, but it's also the camera work, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, whatever for the edgy scale or so-called edgy scale, it's camera work, voice acting, like the music. It's all the design that make it push it to the next level.
That being said, the only thing about let me think. Well, the only thing about those scenes is that there is no other like sexual context. Now, as far as her being sexualized, a little bit, definitely, but not more than like maybe a 4. But anyway, okay. So moving on, Patrick. That was something. Vicky, that was something. What else you got, Patrick?
Again, I forgot what was my initial point.
This is why you write down notes.
But okay,
like
but back to my point that I know it's not really a show for me. And I think it's kind of predictable, I guess. Again, like I said, she's gonna be the tsundere. They're gonna fall in love or have a relationship, whatever. He's gonna train her. And then all this stuff. It kind of writes itself for me in my mind, and I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. So, yeah, it's a good premise, but it does not amp up that premise. It's sort of like the Pirate Princess, where the premise is great, interesting idea, characters are cool, but it doesn't really give it another click on the edge where it's like, oh, now this is interesting. Yeah. What about you, Vicky? What do you not like about the show?
I think, aside from how uncomfortable that dinner scene made me, was just I think that was when I was like, "Yep, that's the nail in this coffin."
Nail in this vampire.
But as much as I did like how there were several things I didn't like. As much as I liked how they are writing history to tell this, I don't like it. It's kind of like. if you're gonna set it in a fictionalized world, make up your own history. Like, you can use history, but they just renamed the main characters, like the main powers,
the actors, right?
Yeah, and it was like, if you're gonna make me like learn history, make me learn your world's history, not my own world's history under fake names. Like, as much as I was like, I wonder if this intensity between the at the time were such that they wanted to set a human in space, they were going to do whatever they needed to, and there were cover-ups. Like, that's interesting, but I don't want to watch a reboot of our world's history, so to speak. Give me something new.
I had the exact point. I completely agree with you. Did you have more? I'm sorry.
Not about that one, but go on.
Okay. So yeah, I basically said it's like a loose allegory for the real space race. Did they need to do this? Did they need to do a shorthand? Like, either just tell me the history and then say, but did you know about the vampires? And I would have been like, cool. Because then you don't have to explain anything else. Because it's like, either you know or it doesn't matter. We're talking about vampires. And then I'm like, down. Or, like you said, give me a new thing. You don't even have to have you don't even have to have a Not America. Because Not America plays like no role so far. Like, at all. Except for like, ooh, are you a spy? But that's dumb.
And they blew up their own ship trying to get to space.
Yeah, like, none of it, like, you could have had everything else the same, taken away 90% of the politics, and kept the one part of, we don't want to get embarrassed, because if we fail, it's bad for us, and we don't want to fail, and we don't want people to think we're weak. Okay, easy to say, done. And then that's why you recruit this vampire so that they can die in your stead. Boom, easy, done.
The only time I think retelling our history in another world works is like if the main character has knowledge of it and is set to change the trajectory, like in Tanya the Evil.
No more isekais. No, I think retelling can be interesting. You just need to tell me why it's interesting. Like, what is good about it? And this wasn't that.
Or they could have just left it, been like, USSR, and the whatever
America,
the Allies, what
America,
yeah, but
America.
Yeah,
it was. I like space.
Yeah, they could have just named it after actual countries and then been but with vampires.
Yeah.
But
that's it. But they didn't want to do that for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, and like Patrick said, we all kind of had the same criticism. Except for the mouth thing. You two really hated that. I was just like, oh,
it's
that's
okay.
a detail.
That
is Sakuga on a lip.
That was just the symptom of like another thing I don't like, which is romance in it. Like, he saw her and was blushing right away. It was like, come on, man. Like, like, I get the first blush, but it's like, y'all are supposed to be focusing on the moon. Why are you letting feelings away and like trying to make
the power of bonus compels you?
We need that happen. We need it to happen to make. We gotta shoe in the love romance part of the story. We need to shoe it in.
Look.
She's 21.
Subhumans, oh my god! You got these subhumans, but they're just like us, and I can love her, and she can be a good astronaut. Like that kind of.
Yeah.
Like I said, it seems like a straightforward boy meets monster, love monster, shit happens story.
Yep.
That's it. It's just like, oh, she's pretty. Like, shut up. Like,
right.
This is a significantly worse version of the X-Men or any other allegory for racism. I don't know. It's a little fun to watch them kind of like get ready to go to the moon and stuff, but that's about it. I noticed that they did some weird like non-puns. Her number was N44, not N482. Nosferatu. Like, that would have been so easy in English that it was like, wait, they didn't do the obvious, like, alright. Yeah, because it was Leica.
Did they say in yon or in Yeonjushi?
I'm pretty sure it said N44.
Yeah,
instead of N482, which would have been Nosferatu.
No, but like when they say a number, they don't say 4. I think they say...
Oh, well, obviously no. But again, I just was like, oh, that would have been really cool because obvious pun is obvious in English, but it's not a big deal. Oh, you know what? I did write that they really focused on her lips and the mouth. And
got it. We got it. We got it.
But yeah, it was the show. So I'll just go first. I was like, I'll give it I wrote it down. I'll give it 1 to 3 episodes. I gave it 1 to 3 episodes. I have not gone back to it. I was like, it's very much an average, whatever. It sounds like both of you were like, nope.
Just wasn't compelling enough to watch more of.
Understandable.
In fact, I immediately followed it up with watching Way of the House Husband because I was like, I need something good.
Wait, I did not hear any of your robot. What did you say?
Yeah, what did you watch?
Oh, Way of the House Husband.
Oh, you did. That was the other one. I forgot. How was it?
It's so good. It's super good.
So what you're saying is we need to do a 1 episode of House Husband because that was on the list.
Mm-hmm. I'd even say doing a live one because it's so short. It's
they're
what?
They're shorter,
mm-hmm.
right?
They're like 15 minutes.
Okay, that's not as bad as that one show that we definitely...
we don't talk about.
They're not that short.
If you would have said 5 minutes, I would have been like, Vicky, please. Different house husband you watch it.
No.
It's a different house husband.
Okay, 15's not so bad. I mean, that's a little short if you count... Is that counting the intro, outro, obviously?
Yep. It's like
that's pretty short.
7 minutes tops, counting those.
Yeah.
But then you watch 2 minutes.
A normal show is like 19 plus you add on the intros and it goes to like 23 minutes. But anyway, I've said that like 6 times on the show. Point is,
I will not watch the show.
We have gone through Irina Space Cosmonaut, and apparently it's whatever, if not just not good enough. So, with that said, let's go over to the B-side where we have plenty of rice and vegetables to go with your katsu. So, Vicky, since you already mentioned it, let's start with just a couple of things. Last year, we obviously did not watch all the anime in the world. Way of the House Husband was one of the options. Was there anything else you wanted to watch last year that you just didn't get around to?
I wanted to finish My Hero Academia.
Oh boy!
I haven't finished. Mm-hmm. So much has happened. And I found time to like finish the season. I'm like halfway through it, which is crazy. But maybe maybe I'm getting too like oversaturated with it, and it's just kind of dropping off a little. But I mean, it's still good. I like it. Just haven't found time for it.
Fair enough. What else?
Oh, I don't know. There's basically all of the anime that I liked from our show that I just haven't gotten to like watch more episodes of Vanitas or Mori. I really want to watch those, and
that's good.
Now that the panorama is kicking up again, maybe I'll get around to it. But if I can tell from because I watched Irina twice before I was, and then again like when I was getting better from being sick, and the second time just cemented that I did not like it. I was just like this is just. I could have watched more, but I was rewatching to refresh my memory. Just refreshed how much it.
I just gotta say this. The ecchi level of an Irina bothered you more than the ecchi level in other shows, and that is mind-boggling to me.
No, I don't want to interject, but I agree with Cori. But using Vicky's logic points and her reasoning, I also have to agree with her because it's just a shot of her lips. Like that's what what do you expect that to do to a viewer? What do you mean? It's not supposed to do that to you. Like, what's the purpose of it?
So
somebody eat my fist. Not talking about what we don't talk about.
Okay, we're not talking about it.
So all I'm saying is that ain't so bad.
It ain't so bad, but it was their purpose.
Didn't hurt nobody.
No, it didn't.
Nobody got hurt.
Except for
anyone, but it makes me as a viewer just felt so uncomfortable. Like, dude, why are you zoomed in on her mouth like that?
You know what makes me uncomfortable?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to say it.
Add 2 points to Vicky's scale.
Jesus. Anyway, so Patrick.
No. Yes,
Patrick.
Yes.
What about you? Did you anything you want to see or didn't get to watch? Or
last season I want to watch Komi-san, which is basically Komi can't communicate. Yep. I just want to watch the first episode. I don't think I will watch depending on how right. I don't know if it will draw me in, but the first episode at least of Komi-san can't communicate. And the other one was Osama Ranking, which is Ranking of Kings.
Oh yeah, I was completely not interested in that one.
Oh, did you watch it? Or no?
I have not. I have not seen it, but I was like, no.
I saw the artwork.
Thank you, Bar. I don't need your animation.
Yeah. It's like I saw the artwork and I was like, wait a minute. But a friend of mine recommended it to me because I was like, the artwork may push away people just from the base of it, but it's just like, if there's something more into it, then I want to go for that story. But yeah, those are the two main ones I wanted to revisit from the last season. With that being said, this season, Winter 2022, there's a lot of interesting choices here as well. So I think the winter season is going to be a fun pick. if not, we can always revisit the old ones as well. But yes. Mm-hmm. How about you, Cori? You got any future potential picks?
Well, Hinke is one of them. I did watch that episode a couple days ago. I was interested in Way of the House Husband.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Link Click. I am just.
We got to do that.
I'm fascinated by Link Click because I've seen I've seen 2 Chinese anime so far, and they have not been worth it. But I watched them all the way through. So Link Click is like the last hope until someone tells me something's amazing. Mars Red came out last year, and I'm still maybe. And then the other one was Tokyo Revengers, which again I didn't hear was amazing. So I'm maybe. And then I've watched a couple random one-shot episodes in the last couple weeks since the new season came out a week or 2 ago. So those are kind of the ones from last year that I was maybe. But this coming season, or this current season, I should say, Kuroshi Eye. That's the assassination one, so hopefully better than World's Greatest Assassin with more assassinating for everyone involved. Fantasy Bishoujo Jinuki Oji-santo. That one should be special or terrible. And then Saibikui. Oh wow, Saibikui Bisco. That one is gonna be bizarre.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's gonna be bizarre either in a really cool way or a really terrible way, or it just might be another. What's it called? Basket. Basquash. That's it. Basquash. Right. Which was just, which is so special. But yeah, I was watching Giguk or Garnt. Look at the trailer for Saibuki Bisco, and I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. That's weird. It's so weird. So those are kind of my broad ideas of what we can watch. And again, if we do Link Click, I want to do a Chinese trilogy of Chinese anime. And then, as always, my hope for the new year is that someone tells me that I can watch a Solo Leveling on TV.
Oh boy!
Because
give it a couple of years. Give it a couple of years.
yeah.
It's gonna be a big,
come on, Korea.
They gotta spend all the budget on that. That's gonna be the breakthrough.
Budget.
It's gotta be the breakthrough one.
First off, do not air it in Japan first. Don't have any Japanese investors because they are not going to like what happens to Japan in that. And secondly, all the budget. I want your best background animators. I want your best character animators. I want your best character design. I want everybody. I want everybody who did anything from Webtoon, but I want them to be the best versions of them, and then just do this for like 2 years. Money. I'm consistently buying those as they come out in English. Give it to me, please. Also, I want Shield Hero to come out. I don't know when it's coming out. I guess April, maybe? I don't know. Vicky, you need to watch Shield Hero.
I know you said it's similar in ways, but
I need
like
my
revenge?
I need my Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to come back out. And then of course,
my sister watched Jujutsu Kaisen than me.
Oh, and also, happy birthday to my sister. Today's her birthday. Woo!
Happy birthday!
And then next week is Zane's birthday. Woo! And then everybody else's birthday. Also, Vicky, happy birthday! Woo!
It's everyone's birthday, guys. You guys, happy birthday to you.
Seriously. So busy. Yeah, if you've had a birthday and we haven't celebrated, happy birthday! Woo!
Yes, I loved up, y'all.
21, let's go. You can actually do solo quests. You don't need any a guide to join you.
Actually, I've been real close to caving in and getting Final Fantasy 14 because I'm craving some MMO action.
You said 15?
14?
14? Oh my goodness.
Wait, what's the online one?
Yeah, 14. Yeah, it's 14.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Come join me.
I just said that if I do, I'm going to lose control of everything.
Exactly. No turning back. You know why? You're not going to play the game. You're just going to be in Gold and Saucer just playing at the Gamble again.
You got to be level 15 before you get to the Gold Saucer. She's fine.
That's in 2 hours.
I just power level to do that.
Man. Yeah, I'll power level you. Let's go.
Exactly.
No. Okay, so let's say what are our plans for the year? Obviously, the pandemic continues to be the pandemic, so I'm not exactly motivated to travel the country as much as I would otherwise like to. But as far as the podcast is going in non-traveling the country ways, what do we think we want to do? Any ideas for either themed episodes or anything else? Because I can keep coming up with themes and ideas all day long, but this is a triumvirate, so we got to work together.
I think something that I and this could be a cut moment for us, but I think it would be very fun and simple if we just watch trailers and then react to that, like the 1 minute trailers on whatever, and we could do like we should, and then we have a fun time just talking about that show, or like just see how that works, because I know we want to do that for like a possible convention idea, but I think it could be also another.
Well, they really liked our reaction episode, so
right, and it could be like just simple, just like, oh, let's watch this trailer, and then like, because there's so much anime out there where we're never gonna watch every single anime, it's impossible. So there's so much in the season, like, let's just click on this one and go through each of the seasons that we missed out on, and be like, oh, maybe we'll get back to this one.
That would be fun. And it could be like a repeating fun every couple months or so to be like, here's a gaggle of trailers. What would the plural noun of trailers be?
Our trailer train.
I really want to watch more horror anime, but if I can't find any.
That's my bane. There are not a lot of horror anime.
I don't like horror anyway, so I don't know. I every now and again the Junji Ito anime pops up somewhere. I'm like, nope.
That just makes me too uncomfortable.
Oh, come on. I read the book. I finished reading that Junji Ito book, like the one that's based off of Tomoe. And it's basically just this girl who... it's just a complicated story, but everyone falls in love with her, but then when they fall in love with her, they want to eventually kill her. So falling in love with her will make you want to go crazy and chop her up into pieces. But when you do that, all of her separate body pieces regenerate and create more clones of her. So you're creating more problems. So it's the best, weirdest thing. And again, with Junji Ito, the guy's a masterpiece with just what ideas and ways you could. You think that everything's been done until you read his stories and like, nope, this hasn't been done.
No, thank you. I'm cool. Done. Look, I read Mermaid Saga. Like, I have it. I own it. Because I like Rumiko Takahashi. And I'm like, good enough. Nope. That's like low-level horror compared to what you just stated.
Yeah.
Yeah, nope. Nope. But yeah, you wanna do a horror trilogy or something? You propose that, because I can't find it either. I'm not.
Or like
either.
Psychological, but yeah, it's hard to find. Like,
yeah, it is
3 really good ones that haven't been seen already.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, what else?
I guarantee you, I haven't watched most of them, so it would be interesting.
We could try
in that sense.
We could try a full-on movie.
Oh, yeah.
I did think about that, but since you both trashed on one of my favorite shows so bad,
which is
I was a little bit.
That's
which is that? What is that?
What
movie is that?
What are you talking about?
That's just a lot.
I was
hours.
a little hesitant to, because those are 50-minute.
Those are movies
to an hour episodes.
Yeah.
While a movie is a minimum of at least 60, if not 2 hours, depending on the movie. I mean, if it's a Dragon Ball movie, it might be 45 minutes for God
right.
But, a good movie is probably going to be at least an hour and 45 minutes.
But the pacing is different in a movie. I feel like with Taku Katsu, they stuffed 2 hours into an hour and a lot of...
And the thing with Taku Katsu, you have to remember that last movie you watch for the next coming movie you will watch.
Honestly, it's not that bad, but okay.
No, but then you have to remember the stuff that happened before the story. It's not just you can't watch a movie and forget it.
I'll say this.
Right.
Is it wordy? Yes. Is the word play a bit of the fun in the show? I think that's the idea. Is all of the dialogue like you need to memorize it? No. I think the story is actually it is very straightforward and simple story, but the dialogue is kind of the guy's style. It's just what he does.
It is a style.
But anyway, yes, I did think about movies. Any movies off the top of your head that you'd either want to watch or want to like share?
None that I can remember, but just like general, I've seen like that'd be a cool movie. Promare is awesome. Promare all day long. Would watch that repeatedly. Or we can also do like a second look at like the second episode of an anime that we passed on. To be like, we really pass. Or
a second look. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The episode 2 is of an anime.
Yeah.
Welcome to Taku Katsu.
Taku Katsu.
Oh, yeah, Taku Katsu. Taku.
Otaku miso. So I'll say this about movies. I don't watch a ton of anime movies, but every now and again I hear a good one. So Summer Wars.
Yes.
Sword of the Stranger. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. These are all movies I own. Promare, I do own that one. I mean, I've got a ton of Shonen Jump movies, but those don't count. Obviously, your Miyazaki movies are the easy anime choice.
The theme song for Promare just started going.
Gotcha. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I was like, wait a minute, I don't hear that boss music.
Yeah. So yeah. So those are like the ones that are like really obvious to me that aren't like anime only based, like your Naruto movie or your Full Metal Alchemist movie.
I think that's probably a better thing for us because like we could really dive into the unheard movies because I know there's a bunch of anime movies that like just aren't marketed to America, and we could just like find those things. And
Your Name, that's
exactly. There's the one that came up from same creator of Summer Wars. It was Bell. It's pretty much the same idea as Summer Wars, or avatars and all this stuff in the digital world and all these things. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to just watch
the Utena movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sure, I watched it. Hey, I don't.
Did
you really?
Segue. I finished Utena and I finished watching the movie.
Yes.
Man, I don't know how I feel about the whole series as a whole. Here's what I recommend. Tangent. They recommend watch Utena season 1, and then if that pulls you, watch season 2, skip season 3, and skip the movie. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
If there's a choice between the series and the movie, you don't watch the movie, just watch the series.
Yes. Skip season 3.
It's got its slow parts, but the movie just takes all of that, and it's just like...
You need to watch the series because the movie has context of the series. It interplays. I don't know how I feel about the show, actually. I'm just conflicted. I really am conflicted.
And then it just goes wild.
Yeah.
It goes so wild.
It really does.
But I'm so glad you watched the movie.
You know what, Cori? I should have watched Katana Gatari.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! It's so much...
It's a wild show.
Hidaten is great. Let's talk about that.
We need to finish Hidaten. But yes, movies. I think movies would be a good pick because again, we would have a lot to choose from. Let's say that would be like unknown, like we've never seen this. So,
but see, with movies, we literally have to block out, time. It can't be 30 minutes before the show and the show 5 minutes late.
Mm-hmm. Of course. That never happens.
never happens to anyone here. But yeah, you really, that's the only reason I didn't suggest the movies at all, because I've thought about it several times, but it's just a lot more time to commit based on our already complicated schedules as a ring. With that being said, though, I think that we definitely have plenty of other options that we can throw in. We just, voice them, put them out there. We'll make it work. I think trailers is completely reasonable. I think that we would have to plan it so that we, like knock them all, like find like 10 trailers and go, right? And like quick reaction. And we could do that as sort of like a supplementary episode,
right? Because on like, let's say my anime list, it has all those trailers in animes within the season already, so you could just kind of like pick one and then move to the next one. Pick one, react, move to the next one. I think it would be pretty simple, and the trailers are like literally a minute long, and it's just like, do you think we'd watch this? Because there's just so much anime out there, and I think it'd be just fun to just see what is potentially out there.
Well, I'll say this. Normally, I don't watch trailers before.
Me too.
I watch an anime. I normally just kind of get a feel from it, either based on the appearance, and then I might read the plot. And if the plot seems good, I go for it. That has bit me in the ass, as we all know if you've listened to this podcast for any significant amount of time.
See, if you watched the trailer, you wouldn't have come to this conclusion. The trailer would have
warned you.
Might have told you something. It would have warned you.
Yeah, but it's more fun. It's more fun because then I can get upset about it and argue with Vicky about 7s and 9s for an entire year. So, like I said, though, it's been a great year of podcasting, and we start the second year. Vicky, what are we gonna watch next time?
We are going to continue the theme of history rewritten with Requiem of the Ring. Baraou no Souretsu.
Did not expect that.
Yeah.
What is this?
I was going to choose like two or three other ones, but Requiem of the Rose King just kept dry.
Is this new?
What is this?
Yes, it is winter season.
Okay.
First episode was on the 9th. So like it's only PG-13, but you know, it's got some.
I love that. Sorry, I love that you had a preface. It's okay, guys. It's PG-13.
It's not porn.
No.
It's not porn.
No, it's not porn. It's
as long as it's edited, it's not porn.
Thank you.
No, it's about basically the War of the Roses. I like
Utana.
history.
The War of the Roses or something else?
Yeah. The War of the Roses in England,
okay.
when everyone was trying to be king, but with a twist.
I think they've done this a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Either literally or like figurative or, you know, reimagining, but they've done this. Okay, Requiem of the Rose King. We'll see how this goes. Wait. What's the general premise?
Basically, everyone's trying to become the next king after some Henry or other. And one of these dukes, he's like, I'm going to be the next king. And I don't know how he's going about it, but he eventually gets a son who's got some, we'll say...
this is reading. This is interesting. I'm reading the summary. I'm like, this is a Vicky pick. Even if you didn't know it.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Read it for me, Patrick. Patrick.
I will entice the crowd. The crown of England has been hotly contested throughout the history, and in the Middle Ages, a series of great civil wars became known as the War of the Roses. Claiming a right to the throne, the Duke of York seeks to unseat King Henry VI, and his heir in order to become king himself. On a dark day filled with many ill omens, the Duke gains a son, Richard Plantagenet, third of his name.
Plantagenet. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Neither male nor female.
Oh, Lord.
But instead, possessing characteristics of both sexes.
I was wondering where the Vicky part was coming in.
And that's not
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it now. I got it. We got the ambiguous. But he's called his son. Okay. All right. That's cool. Anime gonna anime.
You see,
I wasn't expecting that.
I don't expect it. How are they gonna handle this? Is this true? Is this true? Like I'm not interested.
No, it's not true. But he sees Joan of Arc, who's like, hey, everyone, because of you,
sure.
And he's like, no, I'm gonna, glory to my name, my father's name. But he grew up with his mom basically calling him a demon. So let's see how it turns out.
All right. This does not sound like anything I care about. Even like it just doesn't. Like I don't care about the War of the Roses like at all. Like I don't care. But all right, And then if the dude is a lady or both or whatever, all right.
That tale just keeps drawing me back. To tell a story with differentness. Just keep rehashing the same old thing. You think different enough that you're like, that's interesting. How does the world change? Like, wow.
Look, you guys. The author of this was obviously inspired by Untitled because you can be your own prince or princess regardless of the gender you have. Hey, here's the thing. Be your own king or queen. Whatever. You can do it. Man, that show is... Utana has scarred me. I have references in my mind. It is scarred in my mind. Ikuhara should have been stopped.
Utana is revolutionary. Everyone should watch it.
Goodness.
Like, you'll never be the same.
No.
You will not be the same. You will not be the same. That is true.
I got nothing from that show other than that woman is annoying and she should stop acting like a cow. That's what I got from that show. Okay. So I was going to mention something earlier, and I kind of it slipped my mind a couple times. So Zipang is a weird anime about a battleship from like 2010 from the Japanese Self-Defense Force that gets transported into 1945 or like 1941 during World War II. And they have to decide whether or not they're going to like fight in the Second World War with a 2010 battleship.
Wow.
And honestly, it's like not an action heavy show. It's like, it's really not like if you thought of a shonen anime where that happened, you'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds really like ridiculous. It's not that. Then there's Planet Tess, which is about people who collect trash around the Earth in space so that we can not crash into space and die and get trapped on Earth. Mm-hmm. And again, it's just like a show about space trash dudes and ladies. And then Space Brothers is a show about two brothers who want to become astronauts. And one of them goes to America and becomes an astronaut. And the other one is, he wanted to do it and he kind of gave up on it. And then his brother did that, his younger brother. So he's like, never mind, I'm going to do it. So he joins JAXA, which is a Japanese astronaut program. And then he's going to go to space. Did not finish that anime either. But that reminded me of Irina a little bit. Because again, these are shows that are like, they take some stuff and they tweak it, and it's like, oh, it's interesting, but not enough. Because I think I finished Zipang, but it was like 12 episodes and nothing happened.
They didn't use the shit.
Did they use the ship?
They had to. They got literally transported back in time 60 years. So they had to navigate the oceans, avoid everyone, refuel, get food. Like, it was cool, but it was like, then what? And then I think they just canceled the anime. It didn't go anywhere.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's weird. Because it's like, you set the premise there and like, then you expect it to be used. It's like Chekhov's gun. Like, it's gonna, you think it's supposed to be used, but like, no, let's just not do it. Let's just do a boring route.
Because it would honestly probably be more interesting to have a ship go back in time and win World War II for the Japanese,
and that's how they won. And
and
like
it would be like what happened, and that was kind of like what the characters were saying. What happens to us if we change the war? And it's like, no.
See, here's the thing.
What does happen? And then the show was over.
Here's the fix. They actually use it, and so they actually start winning the war. However, other people in the same war of 2010 got pulled in from the American side or whatever, and so they come in, and now there's an actual battle between the old military and the new military, the futuristic, and then history repeats itself because they didn't think they thought they were the only ones. Zipang was thought they were the only ones who got pulled in, but other ships from other places got pulled in. Wouldn't that be great?
Once again, sponsor us to make anime and manga for y'all, because it's better than
thank you.
What they're doing themselves.
Man, yeah.
It's been a great new welcome back to the new year. Electric
Book, a little bit of a shorter episode this time, but we will definitely be back, hopefully healthier and rantier, and definitely discussing things that we can talk about. Like Requiem of the Rose King.
Oh boy.
So, if you're listening to this when it comes out, wait for it. Yeah, watch it. Let us know what you think. What are our social media handles, Vicky?
We are Taku Katsu podcast at gmail.com. We are Taku Katsu on YouTube, and we are Zero Kukukatsu on Twitter. You can contact us on all of them. You can find us on Podbean and Apple iTunes. Give us a rate. Let us know how you like us. And if you send comments, we'll most likely talk about it in the show. So, yeah.
Oh, and let us know what horror anime that Vicky should make us watch, because I definitely don't want to watch any of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want to watch.
I've watched a lot. I want some
any
obscure
other ideas
stuff.
Shows we should watch, or theme shows, just to make it easier for us to create, half a month's worth of content without thinking too hard. Otherwise, we're just going to keep watching stuff we want to watch, or stuff that seems like it's good, or stuff that we're going to argue about for hours and hours and hours. And then Patrick, anything else that we need to know?
No, I think we're good. Just glad to be back into the new year talking about anime. Hopefully we can get a finish anime.
Ooh, finishing anime.
Yeah, we need to finish. That's an accomplishment. If anyone listeners out there has finished any anime due to the last episode, that deserves a reward. Give yourself a pat.
I want my reward. I finished plenty of stuff. All right, so Patrick, we've got several options that we've already listed. Definitely think about it unless you've got what you want to watch next week.
I'm trying to pick an anime within theme as well of history, rewriting history. But I don't think I've seen many shows like that, so it's going to be a tough one for me to pick.
Steins Gate.
Oh my goodness. That is good. I could just watch that again. That's true.
Yeah. I'm still mad that it took you so long to watch that damn show. I'm never going to let it go.
No one haven't watched it.
Look, you can't even watch a show you want to watch, so whatever.
I know, right?
That's true. Time. That's true.
Patrick's over here like, I gotta create my own video game that's time travel. I can't watch Steins Gate. It'll ruin it.
It's true, though. Yeah, you don't want to be influenced.
Where's that video game? Where is it?
It's still in the making.
So it didn't ruin shit because you watched it anyway.
No,
Okay. So yeah. So I'm definitely leaning on a couple different shows for my week in 2 or 3 weeks. So Bisco, Kuroshi Ai, old man who becomes young girl. But I've got plenty. So I wrote a list down. If you all need to refer to it, I got it. But otherwise, thank you, listeners, for listening. This has been Taku Katsu, and I've been your host, Cori. This has been your host, Patrick.
It's time to jump off of the spaceship, guys.
And your orange-loving, teeth-smacking, wonderful vampire.
Oh, Jesus.
Your best, only host, Vicky.
I kind of hope the ship blows up just so we don't have to deal with those close-up shots anymore.
But it's going to close in a space zoom in on her lips before she...
Zoom in on her lips as she freezes in space, looking at the moon.
That's poetic.
Her eyes reflecting the Earth back.
So good. So good.
And she just silently whispers, "Are you aroused?"
Oh my god.
For no reason.
Just like that scene. No good reason for it.
Oh. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Matane.
Okay. Give me a supercut of all of those scenes from Irina Vampire. I want a supercut of all of the zoom in food porn.